also first take this opportunity before I start the presentation to publicly thank Major General Ravi Arora sir and St. Joe's for this excellent opportunity and putting together such an amazing forum. Because if, if not for this forum, startups like us would never see the light of day to have interactions with all the key people in the defense segment, especially the decision makers, people who are handling procurements, and for us to understand the requirements as well as the insights, the guidance that we require. All of that would not be possible. So firstly, thank you so much, sir, and also to St. Joe's. I'd like to ask everyone to give a round of applause to Ravi, sir. A quick introduction about myself before I get into Garuda. I'm a former Asian gold medalist in the sport of swimming. I'm Agnishwar Jayaprakash. I represented India for 10 years, 4 years as the Indian swimming team captain. I was one of the top 50 swimmers in the world at a point. Doesn't look like that now, put on quite a few pounds. But back in the day, I served my nation, and I was a mechanical engineer out of Anna University and alumni of the Harvard Business School, and came back to India after a stint at the United Nations, where I worked under Madam Lakshmi Puri, who was the Assistant Secretary General of the United Nations at the time. It was during my stint at the UN that I had the opportunity to really get into emerging technologies and contribute towards case studies and impact reports, and discover how best drones can be used. Because common misconception about drones, whether it would probably be used in weddings or in photography or in IPL, or the other end of the spectrum is that you will see it in the defense sector. So my thought process initially was not to focus on the defense, because the surveillance applications was the only thing that drones were being used in 2015-16. My focus was to get into the civilian space and try to disrupt several multi-billion-dollar segments like precision agriculture, Industry 4.0, large-scale mapping, mining applications, logistics, deliveries, and thereof. These are the applications where I thought had huge promise. And true to that, when we founded Garuda in 2016, our mission statement was Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan, Jai Hind. That is to develop drones for the armed forces, of course, but to serve the farmers as well as the country. And we were market leaders for the first 6-7 years of our existence. Garuda Aerospace became the first movers in the precision agricultural drone segment. In fact, we have sold over 2,000 drones to several PSUs, IFCO, CRIPCO, NFL, RCF, BVFCL, several FPO, FPCs, KVKs, large corporates even like Mahindra and TAFE. Our focus was in the precision agri drone segment, and also in the Industry 4.0 segment, where we served Odisha Mining Corporation for mining applications, structural damage assessment, large scale mapping, even solar panel inspection and cleaning. Fact of the matter, in 2021, Elon Musk liked our tweet for about innovation that we had posted on solar panel cleaning. The use case was that usually solar panels accumulate a lot of dust, especially in countries like India. It's just not usual dust. Your crows and other birds also do their doing, and you will have to clean this, and these are areas where you have very limited amount of water. So we in fact developed the first ever drones to clean solar panels. We developed drones to connect high tension power lines from one end of the electricity power line to the other, stringing operations and stringing drones. We also developed drones for chimney stack inspection. Our goal was to increase efficiency and reduce expenses. You might ask and wonder, why am I taking it all away from defense and moved into the civilian applications? It is to show you the evolution of Garuda and how we became one of the largest drone companies today, where last year we achieved a turnover of over 109 crores. The previous year was 47 crores, before that was 15 crores. So from 2 crores in 2020-21, we gradually kept growing, and for the last 3 years we have been profitable. And majority of our revenue had come only from the civilian applications and not from the defense. But over the last couple of years, we have commenced starting to work with big firms like Lockheed Martin, like Thales, global giants who are looking for localization, people who are looking at indigenous manufacturing, people who are looking for an end-to-end drone ecosystem player. Garuda happens to be the first ever drone company to receive dual DGCA certifications for both manufacturing as well as training. So this enabled us, and because of the fact that we have sold over 2,500 drones, we had a pan-India presence that could help MRO operations. We had a very, very robust team of service technicians and pilots, and that is the reason why we took the step to get into the defense segment. And this is just meeting with the Honorable Defense Minister as well as the Vice Chief. But we have 3 manufacturing facilities, one of course in Chennai and one in partnership with HAL, 9 Aerospace in Prayagraj, and the other one with BEML. And these are contract manufacturing partners. Our focus was on indigenization, trying to make sure that we provide technically sound, reliable, and also price sensitive drones as well as subsystems to all of our clients, wherein we are also mindful of increasing efficiency and reducing expenses. Today, our manufacturing capacity is capable of coming up with anywhere between 25 to 30 drones per facility, so which means about 75 drones, all 3 facilities put together. And these are some of the defense-oriented drones that we worked with, because our focus was to equip our drones with probes, sensors, magnetometers, high-powered lasers, sprayers, different types of cameras, be it normal camera, RGB cameras and sensors, could be LiDAR-based camera systems, hyperspectral, multispectral, thermal imagery, day and night. So ultimately, we try to explore the bandwidth of trying to come up with variety of different use cases for the forces. And that is how we came up with the Trishul drone, which was in fact used extensively in Manipur as well as by the Delhi police, where we have 3-in-1 payload. It can carry tear gas. It has a tear gas dropping mechanism. It has cameras that can give and relay information. It also has a loudspeaker that can make announcements in terms of getting a crowd back. We also, with our partnership with Thales, who manufactures the rocket, but we also have a rocket launching drone, 70 rockets, about 1.3 meters. And the significant innovation that we have done with this drone is that it can absorb a recoil of the rocket that has been launched. Usually, these are systems that are launched off helicopters, but for a drone to launch a missile and also stay stable, that is required ingenuity. It required a lot of stability and thought process and R&D. We also have multiple different types of drones. Because of the interest of time, I'd like to just run through them. But one of the major things that we are working on right now is the landmine detection drone systems. It is not just to detect in a swarm formation, but it is also to place shaped chargers onto the drone, onto the places where there are mines. This is a very, very interesting use case. We are surrounded by enemies, and it is not just a use case which is going to be important in India, but also in countries like Russia, Ukraine, and in other places as well. Because today there are different types of mines, be it anti-personnel mines or anti-tank mines. There are metallic and non-metallic mines. So how are you going to make sure that you will detect them? And our goal was not just to detect, but also to diffuse them by placing shape charges on top of them and autonomously and simultaneously detonating them, thereby clearing a pathway. Now, most things in the drone sector was always dealt on just surveillance, but we started to look at multiple use cases like the landmine detection, the rocket launcher. We even developed a pocket-sized drone which weighs less than 250 grams that every Jawan can carry as part of their kit. We've developed delivery drones that we've actually supplied to the DRDO very, very recently, weaponized drones, border surveillance drones, but most importantly, when the topic for today is AI-based drone systems. Now, when I talk about artificial intelligence, it's about understanding patterns. Most people look at drones as only as hardware, but I would like to brief the crowd and the audience that drones are not just hardwares. Drones are a combination of hardware, software, and the data AI ML piece, which you integrate to make sure that the entire system is functional and you command and you have the power to control these drones. And that is where the operational tools come in. What Garuda Aerospace has really worked on is into the software and mapping the data, providing an integrated platform and a dashboard for any user, be it in the defense forces or in the consumer segment, where you can point and click controls. Even if you lose communication with the drone, our softwares are equipped with redundant measures to make sure that it will return back to home. It is equipped with a lot of different obstacle avoidance, terrain following radars, a lot of different types of sensors, which makes the drone more autonomous than you would think. It is 80% autonomous, and you would not want the drone to rely its performance on the skill level of a pilot. And that is what we have managed to do, and this is the kind of innovation that we have been working with Thales as well as Lockheed Martin to provide. And that is the reason why in a very, very short amount of time, though Garuda was well known in the civilian as well as in the government sector for work in the civilian space, we have rapidly started delivering drones to the ISRO, to the Rashtriya Rifles, to the Delhi Police, to DRDO, and very recently we bagged quite a number of orders, be it for the drones or for the logistic drones. We have also started working on our terrain drone systems. But today, I wanted to tell you that because of the fact that we have worked with so many different PSUs, be it in the mining sector, be it in gas leak detection, in IOCL, BPCL, in working with ICAR, with GNFC, IFCO, Tangetco. So having worked with a lot of these PSUs has made sure that our drones and our software systems continuously keeps evolving. The most important part of any emerging tech company is to never stay the same. It is to consistently evolve, and that is what we have constantly done, and that has resulted in work orders from NDRF, who have given us a 3-year MOU to be their drone partner, from several appreciation letters in NCNC trials, and also to the police departments. And these are different types of use cases that we have submitted to the DRDO as well as the ADB, and which is why we were also part and invited by the Defense Forces for taking part in the very prestigious 65 RPAS. A project sanction award was given to us last year in September, and we are hard at work to make sure that we will be able to provide this Make-2 project for the armed forces. And yes, sir. Yes. Sir, in my opinion, there are partners even in this very room who have capabilities of indigenizing lithium-ion and lithium polymer batteries. In fact, we've had discussions, again, thanks to courtesy to Major General Ravi Arora, sir. We've met SES systems, and they actually work on very, very cutting-edge batteries which are can be made in India. And let me tell you, sir, while lithium is, of course, a hard commodity which is mostly in China, and we'll have to, and it is also now in Zimbabwe that we have started working with our partners. But there are plenty of other value additions on top in terms of the polymer, in terms of the packing, the cell, the battery management systems that will compensate the Make in India procedure from a DPP. So my point, sir, is that after the DAP 2020 came out, there has been, as you rightly said, a lot of focus on indigenization, and rightly so. But at the same time, may I also pose a counter question to all the forces out there? Are we looking at the performance of the drone, it being reliable, it being scalable, and at the same time, for it to be indigenous, it would require some amount of R&D, which Garuda Aerospace has been doing for the last 1.5 years, sir. So thank you again for this question. And Garuda Aerospace has been the first ever company to also be part of the one of the 23 members of the Production Link Incentive. We've worked with HAL, with BEML, with Bell, and consistently have proved beyond a shadow of a doubt, thanks to the orders. It might be in very small quantity in revenue procurement, but it is not yet in our capital procurement aspect. Our goal ultimately is to understand the use cases, understand the problem statements that the forces have. We have never gone into where we develop and design a product and force it down the client's throats. Our focus is always to make sure we understand the pain points, what our forces face or our clients face in the field, and try to reverse engineer and ensure that we are able to cater to the requirement And ultimately, that is what has led to a lot of success for Garuda Aerospace. In fact, next year, we are going IPO. It will be one of the largest drone IPOs in the country. We wish that we are continuing to serve the country. We will be equipped with a big war chest to focus on R&D and to also partner with several of these startups as well as large PSUs that we've seen today. But my thought process and my parting note here before just opening it up for a couple of questions is that what Garuda offers to our partners as well as clients is that we are a Make in India drone company. We are financially self-sufficient. We would not require any external funding. We have a very, very skilled workforce, and we have experienced leadership that is willing to learn and contribute. And our credibility and experience, having worked and sold 2,500 drones in just 18 months' time, gives us and puts us in the lead in terms of working and understanding problem statements. And what we also have is a very young team which is open for joint development as well as technology transfers. So with that, sir, I would like to thank all of you. I hope that I was within the time limit. I know it is lunchtime, but I would like to open it up for any questions if you may have any. Thank you so much.